What up, guys? I want to talk about some snowblowers that I repowered this fall and the great success that I've had with them. Just want to give you guys some kind of ideas in case this is something that you want to do or potentially you want me to do for you. So I got two Aaron snowblowers I've repowered with Predator 212 motors. This is becoming a very popular engine to put on these snowblowers. They're super cheap, $100 at your local Harbor Freight. I think they do ship them as well if you don't live close to one. But this is a 1973 10,000 series, and this is a 1978 924. I'm also, for comparison purposes, going to show this. This is another 1974 10,000 series, just a year newer than this one. This one's going to be going up for sale here shortly. It's tired. You know, it's good for walkways and stuff, but it just has absolutely nothing on this one. So to show you guys real quick, the mounting on these is pretty straightforward. This has a Tecumseh HM80 motor, which is considered a large mount. If you can see, it's kind of mounted back a little bit. If you can see that one hole that's right there, that's for the small mount, which these are. So you basically have to move it forward one set of mounting holes. Basically you pound out the studs. I use 1-inch bolts. It pretty much drops right in. You got to use a pulley, shaft adapter, 3/4 to 1-inch shaft adapter to adapt the shaft to the pulley that's in there. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. This one, I was able to utilize the factory throttle with, and this one the key switch as well, which is nice to have. I mean, they don't put the throttle and the key switch up on the dash anymore, which is kind of a pain. But I just really like these machines just because they're simple. You know, you got your auger, engage, disengage, your gear selector, and wheel drive. So you engage that, and you're off to the races. And these things just perform really well. The other modifications that I've made, this one has a taller chute, and that chute makes a really big difference. This is the 15.5 inch. I think they call it the mid chute. You can find them on the later model 824s. It still has the gear bezel on the bottom. And the other mod too is the rubber impeller mod. This makes a really big difference, especially on wet snow conditions like I've gotten recently. I was just really impressed. This thing never bogged, still through the snow a considerable distance. This one throws pretty good. It has the impeller mod as well, but it does lack the taller chute. I mean, that little stubby chute makes that doesn't really work as well. It does throw snow pretty good in that direction, the direction it's facing, but when you turn it the other way, it's not quite as good. So, I mean, I might show a little video of this thing in action. I mean, you'll just see that it just does not have the power that these other two ones have. I mean, I do, one thing to mention as well, I set the governors for these at 4,000 RPMs, and they perform very well at that speed. There's another guy on YouTube here, Fearless. He kind of turned me on to these older machines. He's got a whole video series kind of discussing what he's done, which is kind of along the same lines. But yeah, if it's something you're interested in doing, you got an older machine that needs a newer engine or tired or has a bunch of issues, I just highly recommend that you go this way. I mean, I just sold my 1332. I mean, it's a great machine. It worked well, but these ones I think are just easier and cheaper. I mean, I don't have much more than $200 into this thing, and it performs just as good as any other $1,500 to $1,800 machine you're going to buy at a box store. So at the end of this video, I'll throw up a bunch of clips of these things in action, and hope you guys enjoy. If it's something that you'd like me to do, you can reach out. I'll be glad to to point you in the right direction as far as getting an engine set up. I also do have kits to do the impeller mod, so let me know. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, so here's a quick video of this, the original HME Tecumseh. I mean, this motor's kind of tired, but you'll see here, this thing just does not have any much power. I mean, it's kind of pathetic. Give you guys a demo of my 924 here too. This one doesn't work quite as good as the 32-inch, mainly because just the chute isn't as tall, but still a pretty good machine. Show you a couple different RPM speeds and what this thing does. So we're at idle right now. Bump it up a little bit. That's about 3,600 right there. Goes pretty good at that level. I mean, she's pretty happy. We're gonna go up a little bit more though. We're gonna take it to 4. That's 4,000. That's 9 horsepower. I mean, fuck. Should have done this a long time ago. I want to wrap this up basically by just explaining that a lot of times it comes down to cost. This is a 1963 that I just picked up. This thing's actually in really good shape. Just did a lot of cleaning on it. This is a 10 ML60. One of the first production machines. Really cool. But problem is, to get this H60 Tecumseh engine up to snuff, I'm going to probably spend more on this engine than I am just going to Harbor Freight and buying a Predator. I mean, a lot of guys would argue that, yeah, I really should keep this thing original, really should get this motor running, but I mean, it needs a magneto / points assembly, which is kind of a hard part and expensive to come by. I mean, that part's $70 alone, plus all the other little, I mean, it's going to need carb kit, fuel line, all that stuff, all small stuff, but still, I'd probably have more money into getting that than just running down to my local Harbor Freight and dropping a motor in this thing. So it's probably what I'm going to be doing. Getting this 63 back up to snuff. It's be a cool little project. So again, if you need any help or it's something you want me to do, please reach out. Take it easy, guys.